Attention, coaches, players, and fans. Here is a message from Nighthawk Nation.
We as Nighthawks expect you to follow these simple expectations.
Make sure to practice good sportsmanship. Please be respectful to all. Positive cheering goes a long way. And remember, we are just kids.
We all make mistakes.
To our coaches, remember to always encourage your players.
We all make mistakes, so for the players to stay focused on the game, as coaches, you should always talk positively to your players.
And remember to relax, let the players play, and the refs ref.
To all players,
leave a positive imprint on and off the field, court, mat, and track.
Work hard, play your role, and most importantly, have fun. It's just a game.
Fans, we need to see you at our sporting events because without you, there is no excitement.
To make sure you stay at our games, please refrain from using bad language, no yelling at refs, coaches, and players.
Make your yelling positive because you can't cheer if you're not here. So remember, be positive, let the refs ref, the coaches coach.
And most importantly, the players play. Go!
Here at the Peacock Mercantile, we hope to create an environment in which everyone who enters our building feels good about the pride we have in our business and community. We offer a wide variety of handcrafted artisan drinks like smoothies, hot lattes, and Peacock Power energy drinks. We are located at 213 South Main Street, and you can contact us at 701-637-0102.
Did you know you can watch our live streams in high quality? It's simple. Just click on the gear icon and choose the quality that works best for your device and connection. You can choose up to a crisp 1080p at a smooth 60 frames per second. And as always, thanks for watching.
You're listening to Hawk Talk, the official podcast of Hettinger Public School, where we cover school news, school board meeting reviews, guest speaker interviews, and much more. Here at Hettinger Public School, we challenge all to meet their academic and life goals while inspiring lifelong learning. We are a district that values trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. Now, let's go to today's episode. Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning in to today's special episode of Hawk Talk today. I have here with me
Mark Lineweaver.
Mark, thank you so much for coming down. You just got done doing a presentation for our 7 through 12 students about a lot of really, really important things. So thank you again for taking a quick minute to do the podcast with us so that we can share what your message is to not only the youth, but in my opinion, everybody at all ages.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Joel. First, let me start by saying that this podcast, all of the things that you oversee is so impressive. I zigzag the country. Forget about the state. I zigzag the country everywhere from Maine to Southern California and everything in between. And the efforts, the work that you do and Mr. Kohler and the rest of the group, the administration, it's incredibly impressive. Tip of the cap.
Thank you very, very much. All right. So for those who don't know, why did you come? Why were you here? Why were you presenting?
Yeah. Why me? Why Mark? Well, the shortest version of the story is I have a passion to educate. Now, I'm a sports agent by trade. It's a 24/7, 365-day-a-year job, but the education given to, we'll say, a professional athlete and their family, especially about what I would consider common sense type of topics, anti-bullying leadership, volunteering in your community, and most especially social media dangers and consequences, I find to be very paralleled to today's youth. So 7th through 12th graders, those adolescent teens, they're all going through the same thing as even the people that I deal with that are at a professional level or athletic level or otherwise. And so a few years back, I figured out a way to expand that messaging, try to do more in those communities, namely high school and middle schools, and got a chance to connect with Mr. Kohler back in the September, October area range and said, hey, let's try to figure something out. And that happened to be today.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Well, I was there at the presentation, and it was really, really inspiring, all the things that you were talking about. What were just some of the main things that you kind of covered with our youth?
Well, I have a bit of a formula. So it starts with social media dangers and consequences. I think one thing that we forget about in this world where the phones and the apps and we just quickly download and we're almost mindless with our instant reactions, emotional reactions. And this is something, again, that I talk to the players about, right? You see something, it's hard not to say something and not understanding what the ramifications or the consequences could be. So to really kind of drill down on real life, real world examples, whether it's following rap music and the use of racist remarks, the N-word, or perhaps it's homophobic type of slurs, right? Just, which is unfortunately in too many people's vernacular, but when that's posted, when that is shared, when that's on a group thread, those could have remarkably damning consequences to them. And I think for younger students, younger kids, that's what they are to their kids, 7th through 12th grade. This is important commentary. It's important topics to cover, and most especially, it's an important education to share. And I do see, teachers and coaches and administrators, they're trying, but it's challenging. It's really hard to break through. Same thing with parents. It's very challenging to break through. So whether it comes from me or someone else, the goal is it's an all hands on deck, full out blitz, and hopefully the messaging lands and it assists that one individual, if not more, to avoid an issue and possibly, damning consequences.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that you were talking about at the presentation about, those things being used, those mistakes that are made, especially if they're in the online realm, they can be forever and they can have long lasting impacts on their future. If they make a poor decision, it doesn't mean that it just goes away, that there's a track record to all that.
Yeah, if somebody wants to unearth it, they're going to unearth it. Nothing is deleted. And you see it every once in a while. You'll see that celebrity, they find that tweet from a decade ago and oh, I thought I deleted that. Nothing's deleted. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, in some cases, it results in it being weaponized, right? Mm-hmm. I even made the point in the presentation, for those that are in the public eye, the superstar, multimillionaire, they have a team to try to make that stuff go away. These young men and women, most people, right? Not just the kids, even the adults, we don't have those teams to make this stuff go away. We live in a world where, saying sorry is not enough. To apologize, to suspend, it's not enough. People want to see people fired. And for young men and women, that firing could be not going to college, not getting that job after high school, not getting accepted into the military, whatever the example is for their individual choice, it's going to follow to them. And not just into those, what would be college years, it could easily follow to them for the next 40 or 50 in a lifetime, because we live in a digital world. Yeah, and all of it's changing. We're kind of in the middle of that technology revolution right now. So the future is quite unknown when it comes to how that's going to go. So with all that in mind, a little bit later in your presentation, for the kiddos, you started talking about your character and like how that applies if you can handle things like bullying and all that stuff, how that all kind of ties in. Talk a little bit more about that. Yeah, I think first off, character and culture go hand in hand. So we live in a small community here, or you live in a small community, but I think generally speaking, any school, even if there's 5,000 students, that's considered a culture, that's considered a community. And I think the leadership as a person, especially in anti-bullying, is at an all-time high. It's a necessity. It's a requirement. So, I like to challenge athletes who, we all go to the games on Friday night and we show up to the gym and we cheer to them on and we put them on this pedestal to be celebrities in the towns in which they live. Well, with that celebrity status comes social responsibility, and that is to lead in anti-bullying initiatives, because the same people that are following you and cheering you on are the same ones that will follow you and cheer you on in those off the field, off the court initiatives, namely in anti-bullying. So I try to end every presentation, while I start with those dangers and consequences of social media. The social media is where you see the bullying exacerbated. When I grew up, it was a lot of name calling, right? And I think for most adults, it was what you were told and what you were called in school or on the bus or walking to and from, but not anymore. It's because that bully exists on social media with the different apps and the platforms and even the group threads. And we're seeing these students, unfortunately, take extreme measures to try to make the bullying stop. So at the end of every presentation, not only do I like to address how concerning the bullying is, but find the leaders that already exist in a community. Again, highlighting the athletes, recognizing their accomplishments as athletes, but also the necessity of that social responsibility to be leaders in anti-bullying initiatives, and then conclude with, look, too many of these kids, heck, there's plenty of adults that are literally bullied every day. And everybody's got an ability. Everyone does something great. And you take that ability and you combine it with courage and confidence, which every single person has inside of them, whether they know it or show it, they have courage and confidence. And you put those three together, it is a recipe for Teflon. It becomes literally your Teflon. There isn't a bully that can penetrate it. And the sooner you commit to that, I think the easier life becomes, the more confident you become, and your path forward truly becomes your own.
Wow. That's awesome. So one of the things to maybe a little bit dial back a little bit, for those of you who are listening, I'm sure right away you're thinking at this point, well, who's this guy think he is? Just spouting all this stuff.
Very true.
Who is this guy? What gives him the authority to talk to all these kids? So why don't you share a little bit about where you're from and your kind of journey to this point?
No, thank you. I do have that fast talker slickness, I've been told to me. And I live in California outside of Los Angeles, and I'm originally from outside of New York City in New York, but proud to say I just bought a house outside of Rapid City, South Dakota.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if anyone's going to welcome me as a Dakotan just yet, but I'm in love with the area, and that's a big part or reason as to how I've created some relationships and the passion, the I suppose overall passion we have, whether it's from the administrators or myself, we're all on that same side of the rope, pulling from that same side of the rope. But a little bit about me, I did grow up as an individual who, frankly, was bullied, right? I had a gift. I had an ability. Shockingly, it was the ability to talk. I wasn't the best student. I think I was a 2.8 GPA type of kid. I was a decent athlete, but I wasn't a superstar. I wasn't the all-state and go in Division I. I was shorter. I was heavy set. I wore glasses. For those of you that probably remember the movie Stand By Me, think of Vern. Think of Jerry O'Connell's character. Okay. I'm almost to the point where I looked exactly like him. So I can walk the walk and talk the talk because I literally lived in a world in the shoes of someone who was judged and doubted and bullied. And I'm a big believer that life is like the alphabet. It is from A to Z, with Z being your dream life. And we're all trying to get to that proverbial Z. It's not about how or where you start that alphabet. It's all about how and where you finish. And so being from New York, being a pretty good talker, not the strongest student, not the strongest athlete, but taking those experiences, that education that I gained, even away from the classroom or away from the field in middle and high school, and then through college and into the real life, real world, where it's not like bullying stops. It's not like issues that we talk about today all of a sudden go away. How could I manufacture that into giving back, paying it forward, helping others, maybe having that information, that messaging land to that one student where it does change their life? That's kind of the arc. But for someone who I work in professional sports. I live in Los Angeles. That whole Hollywood, what you'd close your eyes and imagine it to be, it is pretty much my 24/7. But I don't golf, ski, snowboard, surf. I educate, and I try to use those experiences to come to North Dakota and beyond, and make a difference. So that's a little bit of the genesis. I'm probably a tiny bit long-winded with that answer, but a little bit of the genesis of how and why I believe I'm qualified, because I was in that position, and I was talented enough to take my personal life, my personal career to a certain point, but at the same time, give back, help others, and hopefully inspire to make a difference.
Okay, so we've kind of explained some of your genesis, but what about your career history? What area are you involved in as far as like what you've been doing work the last 10, 20 years?
Well, I'm a sports agent. So if you've ever seen the movie Jerry Maguire, I'm a lot more like Bob Sugar. Okay, I'm the bad guy in the movie, and I make this sort of tongue-in-cheek joke, which is Bob Sugar was a good agent. Okay, that is the job. There are no Jerry Maguires. So in terms of if you were trying to imagine what I do on a fairly daily basis, it's very much like that. People say, do you watch Ballers and The Rock's character, or Arliss, which was a big show a few years back? I think the Bob Sugar character is basically a good understanding of my world and what that job looks like. But at the same time, you could choose to be that type of person, or you can choose to be something else. And I choose to be something else as an agent, which is an educator, right? Just because these players and their families are at the highest level for baseball, the major leagues, right? Basketball, football is going to be the NBA, the NFL, across the board. Even here in state, right? I consider North Dakota State, especially their football team, that's like a professional team, right? That is, everyone looks up to them. They win national championships, right? So to that student, that person, those families, while they might be gifted and celebrated, they are actually going through a lot of the same type of things everyone else is going through. So to be able to have education or conversation about when they get blown up on social media and having the discipline, or how do you respond to that or not respond, to use their platform to give back, help others, volunteer in the community, to be leaders in anti-bullying, that is what I do. As an agent, sure, you negotiate the contracts and you get endorsement deals and you have hookups to free stuff. And I made a joke that one of the hardest things I've had to do in my career is try to lock down tickets to Taylor Swift this year. I got tickets to the Super Bowl.
It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hopes and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world.
stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here, you'd think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos of plenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see 'em dancing, walking around on those, what do you call 'em? Feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down the, what's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. Wandering free, wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Betcha on land they'd understand. Bet they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand. Oh, I'm ready to know what the people know. Ask 'em my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore the shore up above, out of the sea? Wish I could be part of that world, part of your world.
Hey y'all, I'm Sam.
And I'm Layla.
And we're gonna be telling you a few jokes. Hey Layla,
Hey Sam.
why can't Maui float?
I don't know, why can't he?
Because he's the rock.
Well, so you know Moana, she has her stupid chicken, right?
Right.
Well, if I was Moana, you'd be my stupid chicken.
The next song is How Far I'll Go from Moana.
staring at the edge of the water, long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be the perfect daughter, but I come back to the water, no matter how hard I try. Every turn I take, every trail I track, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I cannot go, where I long to be. See the light where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. Though the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. I know everybody on this island seems so happy on this island. Everything is by design. I know everybody on this island has a role on this island, so maybe I can roll with mine. I can lead with pride, I can make us strong. I'll be satisfied if I play along, but the voice inside sings a different song. What is wrong with me? See the light when the sky meets the sea, it's blinding, but no one knows how far it goes. And it seems like it's calling out to me, so come find me and let me know what's beyond that line. Will I cross that line? See the light when the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. And the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me. One day I'll know how far I'll go. Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata, 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 ain't no Matata, Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, no worries for the rest of your days. Hakuna, it's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
What's Hakuna Matata? It's our motto. What's a motto? What's the matter with you?
So we're back again, and we're gonna be telling a few more jokes. Hey Sam,
Hey, Layla.
what did Daisy Duck say when she bought lipstick?
I don't know, what did she say?
Put it on my bill.
That's funny. I got an even better one.
Let's hear it.
You know the rapper Lil Jon?
Yeah, I think so.
What did he say when he went to Disney World?
I don't know. What did he say?
Turn down for Walt.
The next performance is a solo by Ellie Roseland, and she will be singing Reflection from Mulan.
Look at me, I may never pass for a perfect bride or a perfect daughter. Can it be? I'm not meant to play this part. Now I see that if I were truly to be myself, I would break my family's heart. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? Why is my reflection someone I don't know? Somehow I cannot hide who I am, though I've tried. When will my reflection show who I am inside? When will my reflection show who I am inside? Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a river full of memory. Sleep, my darling, safe and sound, for in this river all is found. In her waters, deep and true, lie the answers and a path for you. Dive down deep into her sound, but not too far or you'll be drowned. Yes, she will sing to those who hear, and in her song all magic flows. But can you face what you most fear? Can you face what the river knows? Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a mother full of memory. Come, my darling, homeward bound. When all is lost, then all is found. It's up to you, and it's up to me. No one can say what we get to be. So why don't we rewrite the stars, changing the world to be ours tonight. You think it's easy? You think I don't want to run to you, but there are mountains, and there are doors that we can't walk through. I know you're wondering why, because we're able to be just you and me within these walls. But when we go outside, you're gonna wake up and see that it was hopeless after all. No one can rewrite the stars. How can you say you'll be mine? Everything keeps us apart, and I'm not the one you were meant to find. It's not up to you, it's not up to me, when everyone tells us what we can be. How can we rewrite the stars, changing the world to be ours tonight? All I want is to fly with you. All I want is to fall with you. So just give me all of you. It feels impossible. Say that it's possible. Say that it's possible. Why don't we rewrite the stars? You were made to be mine. Nothing can keep us apart, 'cause you are the one I was meant to find. It's up to you, and it's up to me. No one can say what we get to be. Why don't we rewrite the stars, changing the world to be ours? You know I want you. It's not a secret I try to hide, but I can't have you. We're bound to break and my hands are tied. All those days watching from the windows, all those years outside looking in, all that time never even knowing just how blind I've been. Now I'm here, blinking in the starlight. Now I'm here, suddenly I see. Standing here, it's all so clear. I'm where I'm meant to be. And at last I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted. And at last I see the light. it's warm and real and bright, and the world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything is different now that I see you. Days chasing down a daydream, all those years living in a blur, all that time never truly seeing things the way they were. Now she's here, shining in the starlight. Now she's here, suddenly I know. If she's here, it's crystal clear, I'm where I'm meant to go. And at last I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted. And at last I see the light, and it's like the sky is blue, and it's warm and real and bright, and the world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything looks different now that I see you. Now that I see you.
Dang, I'm so happy I got away from that horse. That was a rough ride. And I found this awesome castle. And I have the crown, you know? That's just something that everybody should be happy.
Thank you all for coming. It was great. Swing Kite. We have one more song, and it is "We Are All in This Together."
Together, everyone, together, together. Come on, let's have some
different in a good way. Together's where